Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. Today I'm excited to share with you my 7th alternative card that I've made using the July 2023 paper pumpkin kit called Fun in the Sun. This great kit creates 9 cards, 3 in these 3 fun fold designs, and it really has been so fun to create different cards with all the elements that were in this kit. If you're interested in seeing all of my alternative projects or watching me unbox this kit, you can click on the playlist. I'll link it up here in the top right corner, and that's where I'm putting everything that is has to do with this kit, the Fun in the Sun kit. That you can find all of that stuff there in that playlist. I really have been amazed at how many cards I've been able to make with this kit. And today I'm going to share with you another fun shaker card. This one is a fun fold design, and I just can't wait to show you how to make it. So let's go ahead and get started. So from the kit, you're going to need this blue card base. It has the blue sky, a little bit of sea, and then mostly sand here. And it also has like the sandy insert. Sorry for this graphic. In the video, I cut the card base wrong, and so I created this graphic to help you cut it correctly. Step 1 is to cut 2 1/4 inches from the top along the score line and through the left side of the card base. Step 2, cut 2 inches from the left. This will extend the existing cut line to the bottom. Then for step 3 and 4, cut the remaining pieces to 5 1/2 inches tall. So to do this fun fold, you're going to need just a regular card base. So that is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. We're going to score it at 2 1/4. And make sure to use your scoring blade. And then you're going to flip it and score at 2 inches. And you know you've done it right when you fold both of those in, and they should meet in the middle. So there should be no overlapping. So it looks something like this. So I just realized that this is not long enough, so I needed to actually cut it above that score line. I wasn't thinking for whatever reason. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here, and I think that should give me more. So you want this to actually be 5 1/2 inches because it goes the whole height of your card. So go ahead and just cut some more off, and it will be fine because we're going to actually hide that seam underneath our linen thread. Okay. The next thing that we need is an envelope from the kit, and we're going to use the inside color here for the background on this panel. So go ahead and just trim off the bottom and the sides. I'm going to use this front section here, and I want to cut a 2 1/4 inch piece and then rotate it to 5 1/2 inches. Okay. So we're going to grab our card base, and we have the larger section here on the left. So that's the 2 1/4 section. So I'm going to go ahead and just add my envelope to that area on my card base. Make sure to smooth it out. And then we're going to stamp our greeting here at the top. And I'm using the Wish You Were Here. And I'm stamping this in the Azure Afternoon, which is that same color of blue. And I'm going to place it up in the top left corner. Just imagine that these two pieces are connected. So it's going to look, hopefully, something like that when they're all together. So I'm going to take 18 inches of linen thread and I'm going to wrap it around this area. So if you kept these two pieces together, it's going to go right where that score line is. So I double wrapped it, which will help kind of hide that seam a little bit. And I like to do a knot, and then I can do the bow after that. So I'm going to take a piece, I'm going to cut it to 2 inches, maybe just a little bit smaller than 2 inches. And then I'm going to add my pieces to that. And that way there'll be just a little bit of backing to hold things in place. Sometimes we make mistakes, right? And we've got to be able to find ways to still make it work. So I've just got a piece back there that's holding it all together so that I can then slide my twine up and over just like that. And that is going to cover up that seam. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the center panel with some dimensionals. So here's that back with those dimensionals on it. And then you just place it right in the center of that panel, just like that. All right, well, I am really doing a great job today. Apparently, I did not want to cut this off, and it's supposed to be here as well. So I already trimmed that one. So this is the bottom here. Do you see how those two pieces are connected? I originally planned to keep this section on this area here, and so I cut too much off. And that makes sense. So I really should start this video all over, but I don't have another card base. But we are going to now use another scrap piece of paper and connect these two together. This very rarely happens to me, I feel like. But it happens, and we're just going to move with it. All right. Start over. And then we're going to trim off just a little section here at the top so that it is also 5.5 inches. Okay, so we're going to keep this bottom section that has a little bit of sand on it, but trim off just the top. So there we go. We are now ready to move on to the next step. So I did want to hide some of the score lines. And so I'm doing that by stamping some starfishes along the score line. So they don't need to be the same. You can rotate your stamp. They don't need to be at the same height. You're just creating kind of a distraction, you could say, on your paper. So I went ahead and did one at the top row. Do it again near the bottom. Okay, so those two, and then I did another section down here at the bottom. Kind of wherever the score line would be distracting. I don't think this score line here is distracting because you got the pattern. And if you also want to add some distressed, some crumb cake with like a stamp marker, you could do that too. I'm going to go grab that because I think that will look good. So I have my crumb cake Stampin' Right marker, and I'm just going to flick a little bit of ink over that area. to get this kind of sandy, splattery look. And again, I'm going to use another clear envelope to make this shaker card. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this inside my envelope, push it all the way to one side, and then take some sort of adhesive and go ahead and fold that piece over and tape it down so that it's nice and tight. You're going to put your sequins in. And again, I'm going to use these same sequins. I think they look really great. You can choose any of the colors. I really like these gold and silver ones, but unfortunately, I have gotten a lot of other colors mixed up in there. So you can try to pick some out and put them back, or you can just go for it. I originally just went for it, and you can see that I've got some greens and some reds there and pinks. And then my daughter saw it and she was like, "Mom, why did you not take those out?" And so I'm taking some out. So once you have as many as you'd like, you can go ahead and add those to the front of your envelope. So don't put them on the back. So once you have those in there, you can fold over this last flap. If you want, you can cut this little section off. So this is that little top area that's covering up. And then you have this flap that can go right over. Oh, I should probably take this off first. So go ahead and remove that. There. Okay. So now that I've got my cute little shaker, I can add this to my card base. I am not going to add the tear and tape to this piece because I'm not really sure where to place it. So I'm going to add it to this card base, and then it will be right where I need it because I just want a couple strips to hold that shaker element in place on the card. So here's my 2-inch side section. And then I'm going to place this. So I want to make sure that this area that I've added the adhesive to is in this section. And then you just stick it down. It really is so simple. And then it adds that little extra to the card so that it can create this fun fold card here. If you don't like seeing this open, like seeing both sides, you can cover it up with another piece of paper. You could do another piece of cardstock, anything if you want to make that look nice and clean on the inside. The last thing I've added is a little starfish inside the 2-inch strip here on the left, and I popped that up with a dimensional. And I'm just going to place that down here, kind of where the two different colors of sand meet. And there you go. Your card is all done. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this card. And again, if you're interested in getting written instructions or see close-up images on how you can create this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.